According to studies, the average person now has a shorter attention span than that of a goldfish. This means humans would now have a more difficult time finding Nemo than the fish did. Every day we continue to fry our brains, kill our attention span, lose our focus, and deplete our testosterone levels. To put that in layman's terms, many people are brain-dead sheep. Low testosterone individuals with no attention span or ability to focus. Then they wonder why they aren't successful. Gee, I wonder, how far have we fallen? But there is good news. Fortunately, since our competition is all choosing to be dumber than a house pet, you can make minimal changes to increase your discipline and work ethic, and you will already be ahead of 90% of the population. Your ability to control your urges and discipline yourself is directly correlated to the amount of success you will have in life. The best way to start the journey towards self-control is desexualizing your brain. Now, let's first address the elephant in the room. It's no secret that our brains are sex machines. In fact, some of you may already be picturing that elephant in the room in a bikini. If that's the case, you may have other issues and require more help than I can offer you on this YouTube channel. It is true, though, that we are constantly bombarded with sexual stimuli. Ironically enough, desexualizing your brain isn't only dependent on sex. We're talking dopamine. Your brain is based on dopamine, which is like a reward system. When you do something your body likes, your brain releases dopamine. It's the body's way of rewarding you for things that will increase your survival. That's why when we have sex, it makes us feel good. When we eat food, we feel good. When we cuss out our crappy boss at our job, it makes us feel good. Oh, so good. Anyway, our bodies reward us with dopamine for things that help us survive. Unfortunately, a sexualized brain has been hijacked by social media and food to prematurely produce dopamine even though we have not produced the work necessary to receive it. This causes us to become lazy and hinders our success. That's why you need to desexualize your brain, and these 6 steps will make sure you get there. Step 1. The first step is to stop watching porn. I know. I said it didn't all have to do with sex, but it is the most important part. I know it sounds like a no-brainer, but remember those needing this help aren't using their brain potential to the fullest to begin with. Watching porn is the worst way in which you sexualize your brain. First of all, let's state the obvious. When you stop watching porn, you open up more free time, which allows you to focus. But it goes deeper than that. According to some studies, watching porn has been linked to the shrinking of your brain, specifically the prefrontal cortex. That is the area of the brain that controls your emotions, actions, and most importantly, your willpower. Unfortunately, when you spend too much time trying to make your private parts grow, you shrink your most important muscle. It's like a guy doing leg day all the time and never working on the upper body. Sure, he's got killer calves, but he can't even open a jar of pickles. Step 2. The second step to desexualizing your brain also has to do with sex. You need to stop pleasuring yourself. Let's say life is one big game of Jenga. Every time you play the old one-handed piano, you are removing a block. Sure, in the beginning it may not seem like it makes a difference, but if you keep pulling out those blocks, it's eventually going to destroy your stability and make it hard to win. Not to mention the amount of time you'll save not having to clean up your bodily fluids and hiding your search history. Worst of all, you're destroying your brain. Studies have shown that those who engage in masturbation on a regular basis end up less happy with their sexual partner. It can lead to erectile dysfunction, and they literally change the chemical composition of their brains. Don't turn your mental Jenga tower into a wobbly mess. Step 3. The third step is probably the most important. It is to find a purpose. A study found that the main reason as to why people became addicted to the sexualizing that occurred in their brain did not have to do with any abuse or childhood trauma. It didn't have to do with an overactive libido. In fact, the true cause of the addiction was meaninglessness. I mean, it makes sense. If you have no goals or drive to meet those goals, it makes you more susceptible to the addictions that are stunting your growth and success. We all need guidance to take us to the next level. I mean, you need somewhere to put all of this newfound energy you'll have once you're not pointlessly spreading your mayonnaise everywhere, right? Finding your purpose is like hunting for a needle in a haystack, so it's time to be like a modern-day Sherlock Holmes and navigate the case of the missing purpose. Now, for some of you, it may be starting a business. For others, it may be volunteering, and for a select group of you, it might be becoming an OG. No matter what that purpose is, there will still be obstacles in your way, which brings me to the next step. Step 4. Step 4 is all about social media. Stop watching soft porn. But you already said to stop watching porn. Yes, I did, but this is different. Do me a favor and go grab your phone right now. I'll wait. Got it? Okay, now open Instagram or TikTok and look at your feed. What do you see? Is your feed full of successful people motivating you to perform at your best and providing you sound advice for your future growth and development? Or is it full of half-naked women shaking their boobs and butts and providing you with no educational value whatsoever? Even if you are actively taking steps to stop the unearned dopamine levels that are sexualizing your brain, there are many outside factors that still exist. Every time you like one of those Instagram models' photos or comment with emojis on her picture, you are eating away at your focus and destroying your chances at success because the algorithm will continue to serve up that content. Even if you don't like or comment but you keep looking at these pictures, the algorithm is smart enough to know you're still interested and keep showing this content to you. So you need to tell the algorithm that you are not interested. Go in and unfollow every one of those girls so you can focus on your goals, not theirs. Basically what I'm saying is it's time to make those thoughts an afterthought. Step 5. Now we've adjusted and removed a large amount of the external dopamine hits that your brain was getting. We still need a dopamine hit from somewhere, so step 5 should come as no surprise. The next step is to focus inward, not outward. Innies and outies are not only for belly buttons after all. The problem with the sexualized brain is that we have taught it to receive unjustified dopamine hits. This has destroyed our ability to work hard and prosper. Think about it like this. Let's say you decide to treat yourself with a donut after you've run 20 miles. You complete the task and receive a reward. Nothing wrong with that. Now, let's say you decide to treat yourself to a donut if you run 20 miles, but instead you only run 5, and you still take the donut. Even worse, you don't run at all, you just simply think about running and give yourself a reward. You have destroyed your motivation by falsely giving yourself the dopamine hit, and probably gained 20 pounds in the meantime. This is exactly what is happening with your sexualized brain and what most of us do all the time. All external sexual thoughts have warped your motivation with unearned dopamine hits, so you need to replace them with internal motivation. While 99% of people get their dopamine hits from external factors, you must be different. Don't forget to check out our video on getting ahead of 99% of people. You need to be able to find peace without outside stimuli, with the goal being to get those same dopamine hits from hard work. One of the most successful ways you can delay that dopamine is to engage in a dopamine detox. This is where for 24 to 72 hours you go without food, your phone, no music, no video games, no internet service, no shirt, no shoes. Okay, maybe that was too far, but the point is that you need to be in complete silence and stillness in order to reset your brain and realign it with your goals. Step 6. The sixth and final step to desexualize your brain is to stop chasing women. You've spent all this time attempting to remove all distractions and unearned dopamine hits. The worst thing you can do now is to throw it all away by chasing women. If you're spending hours following around this girl or taking that girl on a date, you won't have time to work on your true goals and passions. No man has ever said, "You know what will make this situation less complicated and easier? More women." The best part of this is that you desexualize your brain and bring back your focus, find your purpose, and start upgrading yourself. the ladies will gravitate to you anyway. Why worry about chasing the ladies when, in the future, they will be chasing you? Talk about an Uno reverse card. Luckily, since the sexualized brain is a physical change, you will be able to overcome any issues caused with these 6 steps, which will put you on the path to success that is better than any terrible porno fantasy you can come up with.